What's going on? Another week, another geek. We're back at it with another episode of the Wild Geek Show with your homies AJ and ChrisyLite. In today's episode, we are talking Predator, Killer of Killers. This is episode 186. How you feeling today, Brody?
Man, I'm tired. My basement done flooded this week. The setup was saved. We lost the monitor down. But we'll get that replaced soon. But I still got a lot of cleaning to do. The floor's dried up. It's clean. Gotta do them baseboards, but dang.
Okay.
But it's a tough week. How you doing, G?
I'm sick. I'm sick, bro. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but last few days been crazy, bro. I'm operating at probably 40-50% right now. Still getting stuff done that I need to get done. Ooh. But the summer sickness, bro, just come out of nowhere. Going crazy at top off. Next thing you know, down for the count. They had to humble me.
He's actually a really good golfer, y'all. It's crazy. He's been watching them Netflix shows. He done learned a thing or two. Now, I'm afraid next time. I don't know if we unlock the next Tiger Woods or something.
Yeah, at 35. It's like that. That's how long it probably take to get to the big tournaments, at least, because you got to get them hours in.
You can make it open. You can make it open, bro.
Nah, I can't. No short game, bro. No short game.
Yeah, true with that. You gotta see that first. We gotta see that.
Yeah, but the games that were not being played, Nah, there was games being played. Predator, Killer of Killers. First off, Chris, how do you just feel about that Alien vs Predator franchise as a whole? Are you a big fan of it, or this is kind of falls under the radar for you?
I mean, really great question, because I was kind of gonna start that way. As a kid growing up, I did really like the Alien movies. I still do like the OG Alien movies, but I always thought they kind of got a little weird. Kind of got what can we do next? Bigger, badder alien queens and all that type of stuff. And I always thought the original Predator stuff was always meshed. It was just the same thing. But as time went on, that whole universe kind of drained on me. And especially the Predator ones, I kind of was I've been there, done that. I kind of feel like I've already explored enough of this. I've heard the comics and books or whatever, other source material is pretty good. So a few years ago, they came out with Prey. And I believe you saw it, right?
I did.
And I skipped it. I skipped it. I was just I'm not really interested.
Yeah.
So coming into this, we talked about it a little bit in the previous podcast. Heard a little bit of hype and was excited. It was animated. Sometimes animation gives some stuff more life. So I wanted to check it out, and I was pretty impressed, man. So I would say it's a love-hate relationship for sure. I definitely liked it younger. Kind of got a little worn out, tired of it. So seeing something like this was pretty fresh. But how do you feel about the Predator universe overall? Because it kind of is Aliens, but Predator does have its own section.
I put them together because that's how I was introduced to it.
Yep.
And when I say introduced to it, it was more so I started watching it and got scared and never watched it again as a kid. So my lore as far as seeing all the movies and stuff back in the day is not very extensive. But I always was more of a fan of the Predator than the Alien, just because I think they look way cooler and did way cooler things. The Alien was just y'all trying to scare me. It's just
for sure.
I don't need to watch this. And they always set the Predator to be up more the hero, save the day, anti-hero, whatever you want to call it, of the scenario, but Prey was the first time I discovered Amber Mid-Thunder, and then she was also in Novocaine recently, and I think she's a really good actor. So more to come on that later on in the podcast when we talking mid credits. But as far as just like the franchise in general, I'd say I like the idea of it more than what we've gotten. When I started getting into comics, never really got into the Predator series, but like that was always like a thing. I'm like one day I'm gonna deep dive into this because like there's no way it could be this good based on like what we've seen.
Yeah.
You know, grace the theaters up until this point. But okay, so we're a little bit on the same tier level of how we feeling about the franchise in general. But let's just jump right into it, bro.
Let's do it. Killer of killers.
Concept wise, how are you feeling about Killer of Killers, like as a concept?
I think it's pretty cool.
Okay.
I am wondering like how far would this type of storyline go?
Mm-hmm.
But concept wise, especially like animation style, I thought it was pretty unique. I thought it was cool, and it did kind of feel long for what the like how it was packaged, like a streaming version, Predators.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would assume you could do a few more of these with different time periods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe at the end, the last 20 minutes, you keep doing like a progressive story. So maybe like a 3-part saga would be really, really cool to see.
Mm.
Just because it seems like they have freedom to go anywhere, any time period. And then you can also expand on Predator lore. So I kind of like just the direction they're going with the Predator franchise. But how are you feeling like with specifically them dropping this?
I think the concept is kind of perfect because we never really get to see this side of the fight. It's always from the human side mainly. Like as far as like
Sure.
the I don't want to say like I don't know a better way to describe it. Like yes, humans were like pivotal features in this movie, but we're getting more lore from the Predator side of things as far as like what their actual goals are than what we've kind of seen previously. We kind of just know them to be in one thing, having one goal, and it's like just to find the biggest prey and take them down so I can be victorious, and that's my glory. um I liked seeing like more of the behind the scenes in this series as far as like their culture, and um even though like we can't understand really what they be saying, like we had some translators in there this time, but for the most part a lot of time it's just screams and then somehow having all the technology but then end up dying, like like there's always that trope. But as far as like a concept, I can't knock it really that much. To me it seemed like this was like originally going to be a show, but then it was like, you know what, I think this probably be better if we didn't try to expand like too much and kind of just hone in on like what the core concept of like having Prey kind of being the prequel to this, and then the live action Predator movie that's coming out. I don't know if it's coming out this year or next year, but
Yeah, is that linked?
yeah. So at least it
Oh,
says it's linked on Google.
that's even better. I was gonna
Yeah.
be something I was gonna bring up later because definitely after watching this, I definitely feel more hyped to watch that. I
Mm-hmm.
saw the trailer and I was kind of like the burnout. I was like, bro, I do not care.
Yeah.
I really
I
did
was
not care.
excited when I seen the trailer because I was like, oh, this is like what I've kind of been wanting to see. Just more from the Predator side of things, not so much like same backstory or same backstory, different setting, different time period type thing, same end result. Um, but yeah, I liked how, because it reminded me of uh Love, Death for Robots, where it's like you get all these
I
different
haven't seen.
unique
Yeah.
stories, and then like there's this like overarching theme within them.
Mm.
So it's like it's kind of similar to but you've seen Star Wars Visions, right? At
Yeah,
least
yeah.
season 1. So it's kind of like that. So it's like in this one it's more connected just cuz it's like all one seamless thing. So like we had like the shield, the sword and the gun.
Mm.
It's kind that shows to be structured like that, and then like there's this like underlying tone that happens throughout the each episode that'll like constantly build and build and build. And then some things be connected and some things don't. But overall, I was like, okay, yeah. Like conceptually, like I was like, yeah, I'm locked in. I'm locked in for sure. Um, Now, what was your favorite storyline out of the three? And like, kind of, we can
Uh,
kind of rank them here because this is where, for me, this is where the movie is like, nah, like,
I would. I don't know if it's just because it's how I cut it on. I think it
mhm.
started out the strongest. The samurai one was cool, and then the last one was the weakest.
Yeah.
How'd you feel?
I think the samurai one was the strongest,
Wow. Okay.
and I think the like the Viking one was like it was cool, but it wasn't cool for the predator. I should say, like the predator wasn't cool to me. That I think that's the main thing. He just had the big old what you call it,
Mm.
and it didn't seem.
Sonic Cannon.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like as interesting as like the second one. Like it felt like they started off hot and then like flatlined when it got to the gun part because like I think it's cool that they added a different kind of element, but like I just at that point in time I didn't care
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
how like we done seen this happen twice already. All right, I know where this is going. Let's kind of skip to where this is going because at that point it's like halfway through the movie,
Mm.
and then he ended up becoming like the because he only want to speak English, the main speaker, and he keep
Yep.
talking in third person. I'm like, bruh, I'm not rocking with that. But I think if I had to pick or rank, it would definitely go ninja, Viking.
Ninja.
That's what he is. He's a ninja, bruh.
Yeah.
Like it's Ghost of Tsushima in real life. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Um, and the fighter pilot. You know,
Yeah.
like
I think the firepower automatic was just weakest because he wasn't even like a super fire pilot or any of that. Like all of them
yeah,
kind of had that mystique of being like elite warriors, and
except
then we
him.
get this fighter pilot that he was a mechanic, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, like that. That
He had
threw it
aspirations
off.
of being a pilot.
Yeah, which is cool. I get like storytelling and all, but
Yeah,
it,
don't get me
it just
wrong. I
doesn't
like
seem right for versing of the Predator. The Predator is
right.
supposed to be like the elite hunter overall, and
Yeah.
the other two kind of fit that mold of elite
Hmm.
at their skill set, and then this dude does not feel elite. But hey, it's
Yeah.
a not all stories can be great stories.
Hmm. You need somebody to drive the ship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like he got
leadership,
he got
10 out of 10.
eh, you know.
Yeah,
Like I think for me like that's where it really kind of fell off, and I'm glad that it was just a movie and not a series because it's like watching 3 episodes of that would have definitely been more. Like it'd have been one thing if like the dog fights were like Star Wars esque, where it's like we're getting to see some really cool stuff. But in this joint, it was mainly like, all right, you're waiting kind of for the end. Just like I think like the way that he was destroying the other planes was cool because we got to see some more of his gadgets. But like as a predator himself, it just didn't see him as like you know clear cut as the other two, as far as like
Yeah.
it's an elite warrior, you know.
But I would definitely say like it being animated, that was a really good idea to have that whole segment because it does give a
Mm-hmm.
different type of aspect of like a predator and prey situation that a big screen version of that whole arc or storyline would probably cost a lot of money. And
Yeah.
doing like an animated version of it was like a nice
Segue into another big time project.
well like kind of like we probably won't ever see like an air combat version of
Oh yeah,
Predator like
yeah,
on the big
yeah.
screen.
Right,
It
right.
just is too
100%.
far fetched. So to have it in the animation is pretty cool. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they did it, but
Predator is
I
not
kind of
Star
agree with
Wars.
you. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It's just like it. The storyline wasn't great, and then
Yeah.
for it to be like that, it's weird, and you kind of do want to go more to like Star Wars esque, like spaceships, but then that just sounds ridiculous at that point. So, I give it some credit for doing something in animation that probably wouldn't be done on the big screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even like some of the lines in there was like weird. Like his
Yeah,
dad
I didn't like a lot.
towards
Yeah,
his dad was like, I can't keep bailing you out forever, and hands him
yeah,
his draft papers. I'm like, what? Why is that the thing you say when
yeah.
your son getting drafted? You know what I'm saying? Like that was weird. Um, and then he did the whole like, oh, I gotta listen. I gotta listen to the plane. It's gonna tell me what it
Yeah.
need. And
Tell me what the
I'm
yeah,
like,
that was
bro,
some plot armor.
bruh, some major plot armor. Like at least with like, because that's the thing about like plot armor that I always say. It's like I like when the plot armor is active. Like don't just save me because I need to be saved in this moment. Make it cool. Like with Ursa when she was fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like all her plot armor was like, oh man, of course you can see like in this freezing cold water that one air bubble that will save you.
Mhm.
But in that air bubble, because they can't see, now like, that's your only way to like get the upper hand on them. You know what I'm saying? Like before you uh bleed out or whatever. So
Mm.
like I like my plot armor active, And it also gets a little bit lost to me at least, where one like the predators stop like kind of obeying their own rules in a sense. And also like their obsession with humans. I think that's weird. Because it's like one thing we
Mm.
haven't like if you could fight anything, why are you coming to fight humans on Earth?
I mean, I don't really look at it that way. Like, I just view them as
If
like
there's
a
things
dominant
like them out
species.
there. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
But it's
Oh,
dang.
go
We
ahead.
back?
Yeah, we back. Yeah.
Like they constantly, hunt prey. So
Right.
it's just like how, there are plenty of people who go out and hunt deer all the time. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily
But they
like
live here though, Chris. They're not traveling
yeah, yeah,
millions
but
of miles of
yeah, but people go
galaxy.
out and like go fishing and stuff. Like trips. So them being like a dominant species that's built on like hunting stuff, like
Yeah.
they're looking for like the most elite types of hunters. And humans, especially in the Predator series, have shown time and time again that they've killed them.
Facts.
And that was like a main thing with like the aliens too. Like they've killed a lot of them. So it's viewed as like this is an elite type of species to hunt.
Mm.
And having the different arrow ones is pretty cool because it shows that it hasn't changed in their mindset. Like that's a pretty good prey, and it has some value. The
Yeah.
earthlings or whatever.
I get it. I get it. It's not yeah. I'm not mad at that. Because we are like the dominant species on Earth. But it's
Yeah,
just
on
like,
Earth.
but like when you look at like that back catalog of frozen things that they have in their
Hmm?
freezer, I'm like, what else they got back there? You know,
Exactly.
like that's
Yeah.
what I want to know. Like
Yeah.
that, because it's like when you think about the series as a whole, like we've only seen two different things. You know,
Mm.
that have like sentience to them. But even like the monster that was in this series, I'm like, what the heck is that? You know, like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
little that
They are careful with that because every race that they add is like it adds to that whole genre. And they have like Prometheus and Aliens vs Predator, which was
yeah.
like even more advanced humans or like pretty much gods. So
Mm-hmm.
they are careful with like revealing stuff because they don't want to have to build like
Continuity.
full on lineage and backstories for that.
They could,
Um, they could, but they
but do
like
they
you
want
said,
to?
they probably would do more creatures like
Yeah.
than like sentient things.
Mm-hmm. Not Vilgax or like what's that? What's that alien name from? What's that alien name from Star Wars? Dragon? No, it was. I forgot. One of the hardest bosses in the game. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
It's the guy that looked like Vilgax in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Whatever he is. Because he was growing back limbs and stuff. You know? I just want to see what they got in them lockers, bro. That's my point.
Yeah.
I want to see what they got in them lockers. But okay. Okay. Let's see. What else? Um so like between I guess the Viking and the samurai, like or samurai not samurai, ninja slash samurai storyline, like do you think the Viking still was the strongest though?
Yeah, yeah. I
Because
just
of her
felt overall
son.
as a story, yeah, yeah. It had like
Mm.
the sun aspect, the revenge aspect, and then
Yeah.
actually like the
Avenge me.
yeah, there was a kind of like more stakes in that one.
Yeah.
Um and the samurai one, I mean, they went with like a different style anyway,
Hmm.
where it was just definitely more like actiony. Um
Yeah. That's why I liked it.
yeah.
Like it was
But
like
is
what's understood don't need to be said. You know?
yeah, but to me it just like takes like okay, let's just go with action and then like we just completely
Yeah.
dropped off like a whole part of like
Then he
the
had all the
filmmaking to make
words.
it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had all the words after that though. You know?
exactly. Like it was like, bro, just say something. Like you don't
Yeah.
gotta say a lot, but, but
Especially when you got cut. When you got cut and then because it's like I get
yeah,
just
it
from
got cut and
playing.
was like,
Yeah,
I
like
was like, all right, bro.
just because I played Ghost of Tsushima and like I kind of know like how they be adopting sons and like shoguns be doing whatever they need to do to like make sure that their house or is it house their
Sure.
family essentially I forgot what they call it lives on, and whether that's through like direct blood or not, they can only get the strongest fighter, and in that moment he didn't want to fight his brother.
Mm.
Then he had to, because his brother was like, nah, I want that seat, bro. I want that helmet.
Yeah, yeah. It was definitely unique for sure.
Yeah. Best fight.
But how did you feel about after we get through all three storylines and we get they slowly piece together like, oh, they're in a collar, the next one's in the collar.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of pick it up after the second one, like, oh, they're showing off their like past lives or before they got captured.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you feel about the final fight?
uh I think it was very convenient. I think Predator played the king of the Predators played with his food way too much. But I think that's also part of their nature, where it's like they want a good fight, so it makes sense. And the only reason why I say it was convenient was because like what's his name just kept getting tossed around and was able to find exactly what he needed to be off screen, and then secure their exit. And I was like,
Sure.
like neither one of y'all should have made it out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he conveniently figured out how to disable the collars without blowing them up. So there's a
Yeah,
lot.
alien
There's a lot of
technology of
yeah. It's just
aren't
like
you guys glad I'm back? Ding, ding, ding.
yeah. They got the Apple OS on it, so it's very
And
simple.
he was in World War II era, right?
Yeah, Yep.
Yeah, this is no
Genius.
way, bro.
Genius, bruh.
So,
So, but other than that, like I enjoyed the fights. I think them starting off like as like especially like the Viking lady Ursa, she was just like, I'm ready to go meet my
and
son.
she was
And
causing all the issues.
yep, and the other two is like, oh, I'm the stoic ninja. I don't want to fight y'all if I don't have to. We could do this together, you
They
know?
had me geeked when he was like, "Don't fight," and he was like, "I
Yeah.
got you."
Yep.
I thought
Choked
you
her
said
out.
the fight. I was like, bro. Like I don't know what context you think this dude is saying. Yeah, fighter. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like when you think about it, like fighting in general is a like what do they call it? Human nature, whatever, fight or
yeah, yeah,
flight. So it's like you can, regardless of you know, language or whatever, you can pick up what somebody's putting down when getting a shield thrown in your face. You know.
yeah. And I definitely think that was a big tone of the movie, or like meaning behind like
Mm-hmm.
humanity. And even though all three of them had like different meanings and backgrounds from their storylines on why they're fighting or what they're fighting for,
Yeah.
like against all odds, they all overcame their struggle in their storyline. And then you get thrown into another odds of, yo, this is now you're fighting like a intergalactic
Yeah.
predator. Like what the heck do we do here? And it's like
And they're all
they
from different
still,
timelines too, right?
yep, timelines, cultures, and they still have to like um fight for survival, fight for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and it just really does speak a lot to like just human nature and resiliency.
Yeah.
Because, bruh, that we just gone up to an impossible level, killing one of them, or fighting within our own people, to
Mm-hmm.
killing a predator, to now killing like the king of them or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or at
it's
least
just
fighting
amazing.
them because they ain't kill them, but they fought them.
Jojo.
You know. And then for them to just be like, all right, let's go hunting. And
Mm.
I'm just like, bruh, I need to see what this real movie's gonna be like because this was like, where are they going? You know what I'm saying? Like they not like oh, there's
Yeah,
so many
it definitely
things.
gave that aura of like you said, perfect way to say it. Playing with their food, just like,
Yeah,
we're good, we got this.
yeah,
It's a deer. What's the deer gonna do, huh? Like the deer
hmm
can't kill you, but they're not too worried. They're like, I'll go get you.
yeah.
And they had everybody like around the whole time watching. They didn't care. They were just like, all right, cool.
I wonder what the that one predator did to get his head blown off like that because he was beat
Oh, he
up
was
too.
talking back. Yeah, he's talking
You
back,
know,
bro.
so like, what did he do wrong? Like, what is their rules? Because like, if you really think about it, like predators are really like Saiyans, bro. But they would get sent out to a random planet,
Sure, I guess so.
not necessarily as babies, but like as conquerors, and then they're gonna go and bring back a skull.
Yeah,
You know, because that's what they be. That's what they
could have
be.
just failed. Could have been a loser that can't win no prey, or
Yep.
kill no prey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think I'm at least I'm interested in where they're going. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? Like this movie specifically might not have been my cup of tea for the most part, but like I still enjoy watching it. It was a good watch. You know, especially because it was like Hulu. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like it's not like you had to go to the theater to watch it.
and I
You
think
know?
it's pretty solid for a streaming movie. Like,
Yeah.
I was thoroughly enjoying myself watching it. I like the art style. It took a little while for me to get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
I did think the Viking storyline helped for that type of art style in the beginning. Like, okay,
Yeah.
um,
Because it's so old.
yeah, um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I really do hope they continue like this on. And well, how about this? Just to bring it back overall,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the way like Disney Plus originally had envisioned stuff, where you have like this streaming content to like supplement your movie content.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was a pretty solid like streaming, like straight to streaming thing.
Yeah.
And uh
Less
you know,
risk.
yeah, it felt like it belonged there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I would have went out to the movie theaters, I would have been like, oh, it was cool, but
Yeah.
maybe it needed a little bit more pop or something like that.
Yeah.
But for this format, I thought it was great.
Right. Because like even when Prey came out originally, and I was looking to go see it in the theaters, I'm like, oh, it was.
It did come out in theaters?
No, I don't think it
Okay.
did. Like it might have been select theaters, like for like initial reactions.
Like an initial thing.
Yeah, but it was like, nah, we're going straight to streaming though. But it was everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you saw the advertising everywhere. So I think they do a good job at promoting. But um, we'll see how it ends. Do you got anything else like on just the movie in general, or like want to talk about the end credit scene?
Yeah, we could just do end credit scene because I feel like that's where the other juice is.
Yeah. So end credit scene, we get to see the locker. We get to see that the um Viking lady Ursa was not dead. She was stowed away again. And then we also see another figure in this, and that is Amber Midthunder's character from Prey. Now, Chris, have you seen, you say you didn't see Prey, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Still go see it.
Mm.
But I'm excited to see the fact that she's in this. Because it's like, all right, when the next one come out, whenever that be, like if it is animated or if it is just live action, she's gonna be in the next one. I'd be excited to see what that entails. So I think it'll be another animated one because based on the trailer that I saw for the live action Badlands joint, that looks like it's gonna be a war of some kind. So I don't necessarily know where we're going after that, but as far as like where this thing is going, where it's like, okay, how many different
heroes or champions,
yeah, can we see start to fight together and see if they can like overthrow, their situation? Because we obviously seen that people can technically get away. For how long, we don't know. But like, what did you think about that? As like,
no, I really love it.
teaser?
I mean, yeah, I think these are like the crumbs in movies that always, for me, elevate movies because part of going to the movies for me is like what's next, what's possible, and I like movies that leave stuff open ended naturally for there to be like more. Or, what was it? It was recently Andor when we have a baby, unknown baby.
Yeah.
That can be completely wrapped up, done.
Andy
That's
from
it.
Toy Story. It's like, no, let me stop.
Yeah. I mean, but like literally, you can make that and spin that to anything.
Yeah.
Like now we live in a peaceful universe. We have a whole new type of movie that we want to do, and it's like, hey, actually, that was that Star Wars character. Like that was in the Star Wars universe. So it's just kind of like doing this where you have main characters still around. Now we have a new animated series. Where we have another character. You can maybe make a full-on live-action movie with both of them, and just be like, okay, what's the lore steps I gotta do to watch this movie or understand it more? And to be honest, if they're all captured already, you can just pick it up from there and be like, oh, that's dope. Those are the same characters from the other series. So, I just really like it when movies do that. And like I said, I haven't seen Prey, but I definitely will watch it now because it's probably like an hour and a half or so. And I definitely noticed the character as soon as they showed it, and I was like, okay, that's definitely the thing I saw on Hulu many, many, many times.
I tried to get you to watch, you just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's like 2-3-year-old movie. I feel like
2022.
Dang,
Those 3 years.
Dang.
Been a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I love it, and hopefully they do more. They keep stacking up this universe because they need to build it up.
Yeah, stuff like this needs a universe. Sure. Not everything needs a universe, but stuff like this needs a universe because there's so many little nuggets like this. And even when to bring it back a little bit, when they were giving out the 3 champions their weapons, and it was like, all right, here you go. Here are 3 weapons from your different tribes, right? And Um, Ursa got the lumberjack axe, and the ninja got a sword, katana, and what's his name got a gun, but it was actually the gun from Prey. So that's all I'll say on that. But like that was the first Easter egg. I was like, yo, that's crazy. They put that in there, and that was in that movie. You know. Um. So to say it's the same time, I can't really speak to that, but because obviously he was like, "How am I supposed to use this?" You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still like from a different time period, but not only do they collect the champions, but they're also collecting trophies and you know getting different trinkets and stuff from their battles or keepsakes like that, which is like really cool. Cause like it's one of the things that I really admired about the Mandalorian and Boba Fett is like when they do something cool, they get that joint imprinted in their Beskar, and it's like, oh yeah, he took down this thing, I took down that thing. Yeah, I'm really like that. I got the black saber on me, like and I got Grogu. So it's like, what we doing? But yeah, that had me super excited for what we see and to see that she was a character. And like, okay, bet, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That's why it really made me feel like this was a show, because like that would be like the perfect teaser for a season 2.
Yeah.
Versus it being like something we see in the next movie per se.
I mean,
So
I think it would have worked well if it was like a 3-part episode, and then you get another 3-part episode that continues on like right after this movie ends. I mean, but it didn't really matter because I thought it ends fine. And if they made another movie right after this, animated and all, I would still watch it,
Yeah. Kind of like how what's that Snyder thing that came out? That was like a 3-part series. I only watched the first part of it. Zack Snyder,
guy who did
Rebel
Justice
Moon.
League?
Rebel Moon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like how that was.
Yeah.
It was like wasn't a whole bunch of episodes, but
like
similar style.
Like you could just make that
storytelling,
a series, yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I would still watch it.
Okay. Well, what score would you give it out of 10? This is where it gets tricky.
It is where it gets tricky. I would say kind of like it. I would say it's a 7.
Okay.
I enjoy it. I like the animation. It took some time for me to like it though.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think I have I do like the first story just because it just seems like the most story-esque.
Yeah, it was definitely the most not thought out, but like detailed background got out of the 3.
And the second one's unique. The third one I just don't think is that well executed.
Yeah.
But hey, if it was a TV show, it would just been like one of the lower ranking like episode type things.
Yeah. Should have watched Top Gun. Maybe they did.
Yeah. But overall, I think it's pretty solid. I think it does a good job with animation in this like theater. Like maybe you can keep doing more of these. Maybe not too much because then we're just talking like gladiators and like I don't know, prehistoric stuff like that. That would be
like
crazy.
why wouldn't they go get like some mythological creature? Yeah, like you got
like I feel like you are limited
Alexander
at this
the
point.
Great,
like, do we really?
and,
yeah,
like Billy the Kid and like all in
like not saying I wouldn't watch, but I do think it would get a little wacky,
a little gimmicky. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, gimmicky. So I'm gonna give it a 7. Would probably recommend it like as like a you have nothing to watch. Hey, did you like catch up on like a little Predator thing, or if someone likes animated things and they've watched every animated thing possible, they might have not watched this. It's kind of like some of those Star Wars animated shows where Someone can definitely be a Star Wars fan, but maybe they didn't like deep dive to every single animated thing Star Wars has put out. So
Man,
someone might be an Alien vs Predator or Alien fan, and you could just say, "Hey, give this a go," and it builds into the lore,
yeah.
and then you could be ready for the new movie that comes out this year. So I'm gonna give it a 7. I thought it was pretty good and perfect for Hulu. But what would you give it, G?
I'm giving it a 7. I think that Jones mid, but it was good though. Like it was like a good kind of mid. That's why on my scale it's a 7. Um, I enjoyed the animation. I enjoyed most of the fights. I liked the execution of like the action scenes, but some of the narrative stuff for me was like I've said earlier, it just didn't hit the way some of them actually hit, and it kind
Plot
of became
armor.
clear. Yeah, it became pretty clear how things were going to end once we got into the end game. As far as like, oh, they wouldn't just kill everybody, like So I think for me, like the where she like sacrificed herself was like, I was like, oh, that was good because like it was like they closed all the loops as far as like the trauma she had endured as a child to finally getting her revenge, but technically her son got her revenge for her. And then losing her son, and then now it's like, no, my boys, they're going to live, and don't seek vengeance for me after this. Don't try to avenge me. Like, just let it go. And like that was her thing,
Yeah,
even though it didn't pan out the way she wanted it to.
yeah.
I felt like that was good storytelling in that moment, and it was just like a good way to send us off without like being like, what the heck just happened? Like this should not have been able to be this easy. Um, but that's also the gimmick with predators is that whereas how capable they are, they always end up dying by something gimmicky, like having poor eyesight, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, but it's also fun too, and I enjoy the art style, and I enjoy like the voice acting and stuff like that too. So solid. I give it a 7. But let
Nice.
us know what you guys think in the comment section below, because I do think this is like a little bit more niche. Like Chris was saying, like I did a poll on my channel about the Star Wars Tales series where they had like the Underworld, the Jedi, and the Empire, and a lot of people I ain't even seen it. So like,
Yep.
or not, let alone seen all three, but ain't seen one. So I'm like, yo, this is definitely could be a deep cut, but let us know regardless, because I think it's dope. But what you geeked about, bro?
Man. I wouldn't really say much has changed for me. Like I said, I've been a little busy with the basement, but we're stuck on Ginny in Georgia.
Yeah,
We're trying to get through it.
yeah. It's
Just
so
gotta find
dramatic,
the
bro.
time.
It's so
Yeah.
dramatic.
And what else? I mean, I not really a show. I have been watching the Club World Cup. I know there's been a lot of drama about it because it's kind of like a money grab.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
This
and
prestige is
some of the
not there.
matches have not been does not seem elite or as serious.
Are people not
Uh,
playing though?
no, they're playing. They're playing.
It's
But
just not 5-0, like
oh,
what PSG did.
PSG did 5-0, and I was like, all right, that looked like it. But it's just maybe the later rounds I'll start getting more geeked about it. But right now, just kind of
Mm-hmm.
coming off the Champions League, it just definitely feels like just extra money to be had.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get better matchups, better teams versus each other. Maybe I'll feel differently. But right now they got some clubs versus each other that I don't even know the players on the team, and I'm not sure how well the competition is going. And even one of my teams, LAFC, they got smacked around by Chelsea, and I was like, dang, this does not
Smacked
even.
around.
Yeah, this don't even seem like the same squad that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Because there is definitely a clear power level difference between those two squads, and I was
Mm.
shocked. So maybe in the later rounds I'll get more into it, but for now it's been a little miss for me. So but I am geeked about it. Hopefully we get some good matches. But what you geeked about, G?
I'm gonna be geek when I'm not sick no more. But hopefully that's like within the next couple days. Be ready for the weekend.
Again.
Because it's Juneteenth tomorrow, or while y'all watching this, it'll be Juneteenth. Not that I ain't got any plans, but I'm just saying, like, that's just it's a good holiday.
He's going crazy, y'all know.
Nah. But as far as like stuff I'm geeked about finishing Alien Romulus now. I started it.
Oh,
like right before it got spooky, and I cut it off. I was like, I'm not ready yet. So, definitely gotta watch that. I've been watching One Piece every day for I don't know how long.
Dang,
and it's still like I can't even tell you what's happening right now because I don't even know. Like I knew what happened in the previous arc, but where I'm at right now, I don't know what the heck about to happen.
I will say we have been using that as background TV, which has been helpful because it's like, all right, cool. I can still follow along while I'm doing other stuff, taking care of. I didn't even say I got a new puppy.
Yeah, I was waiting for this.
Taking care of a new puppy.
Yeah.
But so that has been helpful. But I ain't as far as you, bro. So it's gonna take me a while to get the. I gotta watch it every day, every second.
Yeah. And then Fire Force is in the end game. At least that's what it feel like. Getting mega serious. Like stuff is happening. Stuff is happening, Chris. But I can't.
I mean, every time I'm in the bookstore, Fire Force is a big segment. I wouldn't think season 3 is even close to the end, but hey.
Well, I'm saying like in game, not in the season by any means, because it's just start. I'm talking about just in the overall story of like what we've been leading, like what we've been leading to.
Okay.
Like so.
And it's worth.
So far, it is.
Okay.
That's like good. Narrative wise, it's like it's still set up time. Like they're still setting up, but it's like the pieces are starting to fall into place. Where I'm just like, bro,
okay,
they do this strike right, we're gonna be good to go.
All right.
And then also just like watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm watching that again. I gotta refresh my brain on some of these older animes that I've watched. So I'm gonna watch a lot of them in dub, like JJK and then Hunter x Hunter.
That's a
and even Dragon Ball, bro.
Oh no, I can't go back.
Not Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay.
Like I was watching a supercut on YouTube of it, and I was like, dang, like I need to go back and watch some of these fights. Not necessarily the whole thing, but just like some of these moments again. Cause like the abridged version is etched into my brain because I've watched the abridged version of Dragon Ball Z so much that I'm just like, bro, gotta get back to the source material. But other than that, bro, that's pretty much it, man. I don't know what's the next thing that's about to come out. Is it Jurassic World?
Maybe.
Cause something came out today.
Yeah, maybe.
Or no, it comes out tomorrow, and that was I can't think of it now. Something I was like, oh, I could watch that, but also like I'm not mega excited for. I don't know. I don't know, but let us know what y'all about to watch.
There's F1 and Megan, but
F1, that's what I wanted to see.
Yeah, and then it's Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah, I wanted to see F1. And then Deb's Idris was doing the interview, and they was asking about he was like he gonna be the next Black Panther, right? And I didn't even hear what he said. All I heard was he was like, when they saying the question, he was like, I like that. I was like, oh, that's all I need. That's all I need. You know, like when they call his name, he gonna be ready. You know what I'm saying? Franklin Saint coming to Wakanda. You know, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You got anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Hopefully these the summer comes by and we get some banger movies though.
You know what's crazy though? What
What?
we're not geeked about? Finals. We ain't said that one time since it's started.
You got me.
Yeah. Like we ain't said that
bro.
at all.
I think I went on a rant last time on the finals. It's just kind of like now it's even worse because Halliburton is hurt.
Injured, yeah.
And people keep bringing up like how many people were injured for the Thunder to
get here,
advance,
yeah.
But
the free throw metric.
Yep, and it's just it
might be forgotten. What's that game with 40, bro?
Yeah. Jalen Williams.
Yeah, that's no small feat in the finals to put up 40. It's no 50-10-10, but you know.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like an epic battle, you know. Mm-hmm. But hey, you know, get your first ring, cap off the MVP.
That'll and then be we'll see second ring. Caruso's second ring. Most rings on the team. Isn't that crazy?
And I remember that trade, and I was like, bro, why? Who trades for Caruso? And they,
man,
championship teams do.
Legend. But appreciate y'all for watching. As always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you have not already. And we'll see y'all next week. Stay geeked. Peace.
Later, y'all.